So everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Code Geass. But before I talk about this and possible spoilers, here's an artist promotion right here. So please be sure to check out more amazing art from Young He-Man. But before I talk about this, and I already said that, because I'm an idiot. Yes, I'm back with more Code Geass. We have two episodes, 8 and 9, and my gosh, things are heating up. We have the entire, with the Liberate Japanese team, or whatever they were called, that took this entire building hostage, and shit really hit the fan there. But holy crap, it is. I'm so intrigued by it. I'm so curious about this, and I think it's interesting because it really touched on subject in history that have happened for real, like obviously wars, conquest, and annexations, and dragon wars and stuff like that that's going on in this show. And that is the moral of things that creates this what is right and wrong, and many times depending on the situation and which side you're on, right is wrong and wrong is right, and it is society, and we humans make things incredible complex. I mean, it's just take for example one thing, murder. I'm pretty sure all of us agree murder in general is a bad thing and you shouldn't do it. But one thing is, how should we treat those that have committed this crime? There we all are very different. They should have, some consider they should have a life sentence, some consider they should have a sort of sentence, 20 years or something like that. Other want death sentence, and things like that is so really hard to, get everyone on the same side, because we also have so different opinions and all of that. And not to mention, we all our opinions shift with years as we grow. And I mean, seriously, if you met me when I was 20, 12 years ago, I would be sure the core of me was the same, but I was also rather different. I had a completely different views and opinions and all that. And I'm not proud of those opinions and views I had back then, but I have seen and learned so much more, and by this experience I have changed as well, and hopefully in a good way. And seeing Code Geass really touch up on this, I mean, I can understand that, for example, if you like Korea or China, seeing these, how the oppressed Japanese and how bad it is for them, that they will be kind of pissed off on that because Japan did that against them, especially China and all of that. And I think they also Korea. I'm so sorry if I'm not correct about the history and all of that, but it can of course cause some kind of grind there between. But in general, though, when taking the context of this story and apply it to the world, it is not so weird stuff we're seeing, how we humans react. I mean, as I mentioned before, if you're on one side, it's terrorism. If you're on the other side, it's heroism. And it's very, very hard at times to define what's right and wrong. Though, of course, I especially don't condone things like that in general, because it causes, first of all, it is sad, it's painful, it hurts so many people, and it is causing an inflammation that just increase, that the more violence that they use, the more inflammatory it becomes, and it will never heal. And to be the person that put down the weapon and trying to mend peace, that step is generally the biggest and the hardest one, and also the one that I respect the most, are those that actually tried that. Though I know also my personal, like, now I'm not been in a war or stuff like that, but when you're trying to be mediated, a mediator, you're trying to you stand between two conflicts, and you're in the middle and trying to just make everyone fuck off with this violence, sit down and have a talk, and trying to be create a diplomacy and peaceful action between these. I can just say that being that mediator, that diplomacy is the worst job, because when you're on one side, you're hated by this side, and on this side, you're hated by this side. But mediator tend to be hated by both, because they turn their aggression towards that one. And I can tell you right away, because my family, when I was growing up, my siblings and my father and me, my father and my siblings had, and my father especially still has, incredible temper. They would start arguing and have real serious shout-outs on stuff, and it was crazy. And I didn't really care too much about. I mean, I did my own, but I went in there and tried to be, I'm trying to appease them both, the both sides, and try to make them calm, because I don't think it's worth that the family splits up because who's gonna do the dishes. I was like, why do we even argue so insane about this? It's stupid. And of course, I was called coward, spineless. I need to grow balls. I didn't have a dick. I was useless. I didn't have an opinion of my own. And I can tell you that those things have chased me for my entire life. When words from my siblings and my father say things like that. So but I still try to be diplomatical, trying to make, come on, for fuck's sake, guys. And I think we have this here as well. And I'm so sorry for this random rant, but I just trying to think this as an story, which it obviously is, but thinking on the idea of how we can try to learn from this when we see this as a show rather than watching realities and stuff like that, because when it's real, we can tend to be very, how can I say it, we can't relate maybe too much to it. Many times we are like, oh nay, there was a shooting, there was an war and all that. It's really sad and we feel bad for it, but as soon as we log off the internet and turn down the pages and all that, we kind of forget about that if we're not near it, so to speak. It's politics and stuff like that. It's very deep and very, in general, I hate politics, but at the same time, politics are important because it's pretty much represent our views and stuff like that.